Hi, my name is Frank Jimenez. I'm with Cabinet Pro Software, and today is the last day that we have for the IWF show, and we will be going through starting a job from start to finish, and that will be taking you all the way from design, three-dimensional design, to bidding, and then to cutlass reports, door reports, etc., all the way to optimization and CNC. So just know that this particular type of interaction is not the best, as we all know. So if you have questions, feel free to write those questions on the chat session that we have going. And if you want more detail and you want to discuss your own particular needs and requirements, feel free to give us a call. We would be more than happy to discuss with you what Cabinet Pro can do for you and your business. And finally, if you have a desire to have a personalized demo on your computer so that you can see exactly what Cabinet Pro will do for your particular type of method of building cabinets, we can schedule that as well. So let's go ahead to our sharing our screen, the making of a job. Here we have a BSA router that we're going to be using, but I want to emphasize that we do not endorse any router whatsoever. Now, sometimes people who are our customers for the non-CNC version, the standard version, will ask us our suggestions for routers, but we never give a single router. We always give at least two, more like 3 or 4 different possibilities that we've heard good things about. Because if you give if any particular company, this is not just for us, if any particular company gives a recommendation of a single router, there's probably money involved in that as to why they're doing that. And likewise, if a CNC company gives only one recommendation for a software package, there's probably money involved in that. So to avoid a conflict of interest or even the appearance of conflict of interest, we do not endorse any routers whatsoever. So what I'm going to do here is start a job, and I'm going to go relatively fast. So if you have questions, just write them down, and perhaps we can answer them later or even during the show. So I'm going to click the job folder. And what you're about to see, by the way, is the way the program comes initially when you first get the program, if you decide to get the program. So I'm going to go to New Job. And we only have one customer in here. Now, this is not a job list. This is a customer list so that you don't have to re-enter the same information about a customer every time you do a job for that customer. So Cabinet Pro LLC is the only customer in here. So we're going to hit OK and accept that to our job. Now, when we do that, different kinds of information automatically come up. You can have face frame cabinetry, frame or frameless. You can just switch this over to frameless if you want, butt joint, frameless lock dowel or whatever, blind dado, dowel construction. You can have as many setups as you want here for as many different types of construction methods that you have in both face frame and frameless construction. So I'm going to select face frame construction only because face frame construction is more complicated than frameless. So if we have our face frame construction active, we can then go to our library, and you'll see some of the cabinets that we allow in our library or to be constructed. These are corner cabinets, and that corner cabinet, by the way, is one that is L-shaped. This is the more typical type. However, you can extend the legs, each of the left and right legs, and you can also change the depth of each of those legs to your liking, and how many doors go into each of those sections. Speaking of sections, we also have pretty long, very custom. Obviously, this is an extremely custom cabinet. If I were to accept this cabinet, let's just go ahead and do that real quick. What you'll see is a very, very different kind of a cabinet in face frame mode. That is probably a one-of-a-kind cabinet that you would ever want to build one time and then don't ever look at it again. So this is the face frame only for that particular cabinet. If we hit the apply button, the cabinet comes back. We can place this directly onto the floor plan if we want. Speaking of the floor plan, why don't we go ahead and transfer to it? If I click the floor plan designer, and I'm just going to make this very simple and very quick, hopefully. We're going to make 2 walls. And so what we have so far is something that looks like that. I'm going to go ahead and put that one cabinet that I just made in here, because if I look at the cabinet list, you'll see that long cabinet has not been entered yet onto the floor plan. It's part of the job, but it's not part of the floor plan. So I'm going to put it in the floor plan, and I'm going to snap that to a wall, perhaps wall number 2. And so it's just on that wall, it's going to sit there. And let's fill this other wall, this top wall, with cabinets. So I'm going to refresh the screen, click the autofill button, select wall 1. And now there are videos on this that show how to use the program on every screen, just about every screen. I'm not going to go through that, but the autofill feature has quite a few different options on it, as well as video instruction as to how to use those options. So if I hit the OK button, it will simply fill the wall with what I have at this point. And at this time, we might want to change this because this floor looks kind of odd. So I'm going to click our photos and go to our flooring and change the flooring. I think we did this earlier in the week. So now we have an oak floor instead. Also, what we want to do is change this cabinet. For example, that is if I were to look at that cabinet closer, we would see that as we want to maybe perhaps make this into a drawer bank. So if I click that, edit that cabinet, I could change it directly into a drawer bank. And how many openings do we have? Let's say we have 4. Top opening, let's say is 6 inches. Remember, we're in face frame construction now. And let's say the bottom opening is going to be 7 inches. And I'm going to leave these blank, hit the OK button, and those are automatically filled with the appropriate overlaps. If we were in frameless mode, these overlaps would be reveals. So if I hit the OK button at this point, that is now placed back into that job, into the same spot that it was before. If I want to generate an elevation, I can do that. Wall number 1, and we want to dimension that and look at it very quickly. Here, you'll notice that these face frames are butted up against each other. What if we want that? And where we want those 3 cabinets, or all of them for that matter, but let's just take those 3. Those 3 cabinets as one face frame, under one face frame. So the double styles, for example, or the double mullions would be gone. How do we do that? We go to refresh the screen, and we join the cabinets. Now, joining these cabinets, we'll be taking those unfinished ends away and trading them for vertical partitions that are constructed way differently. So if I hit OK to that, those are the 3 that we're going to put together as a single cabinet. If I confirm that, it's thinking right now because it's putting those cabinets together as a single unit. And so now we have that one cabinet as a single unit. If I take the face frame of this, if I look at the face frame of this new cabinet, because those 3 cabinets are not there anymore, we could do that. And whoops, if we take the shop drawing here and look at the face frame only, we'll see that we no longer have double styles here. That's a single style with a vertical divider behind it. If I like this the way it is, I can accept it, press the OK button, and now it could place it back to where it was, but it can also place it wherever you in the corner here, so you can replace it wherever you wish. If we exit the elevation here and we click that cabinet, we can say place that or send it to the right side, snap it to the right side of, no, how about the left side of this cabinet? Snap it to the left side of the cabinet that I want to snap it to. Now, if I generate an elevation for wall 1, same wall that I had before, and we look at that, the dimensions of it, we'll see that those double styles that were butted up against each other before are now single styles, and there are vertical partitions there because that's a single cabinet. We could do that with all these cabinets, by the way, and as a matter of fact, if we wanted to put something in the middle there, we could do that as well. I'm going to avoid that temptation of making more cabinets here because we do want to go through the entire job. Once we're finished with that job, and by the way, as we are designing that job, all the various hardware and CNC operations are automatically placed on those cabinets that we already were designing. As you're designing, the cut list is being made, not just the graphics, but the cut list, the hardware has been assigned or unassigned, the number of shelf holes are being placed wherever it happens to be necessary to do that. And so if I now go to reports, just a minute here. If we go to reports, there's quite a few different reports I can obtain on this particular job. Now, in order to save time, I'm just going to do this on 2 cabinets. So if I go to bidding reports, it will, I mean, we saved about 5 seconds here. I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. At any rate, you can have a full breakdown of your costs, and these costs are to the penny. These are not approximations. These are not just a bid of some sort that gives you a ballpark figure. These numbers that are generated on our bid, where you go through a rather major setup, the bid itself is to the penny. And when it's not to the penny, we have accountant people upset with us and call us and let us know. So if I hit the OK button here, we go to reports. Again, I'm just going to choose a couple of these cabinets, and I go to cut list reports. We can generate our drawer reports. We can also generate our purchase door report, our general parts report. All these various reports we can generate very quickly, and we can also do it all of them simultaneously, by the way, because you can have a multiple reports section, so that when you press that button, 4 or 5 reports come out at the same time. Here's our panel optimization, and when we optimize those cabinets, we can have a non-CNC optimization, or let's get out of here, go do that one more time. Access a few cabinets, go to cut list reports, and this time we want to generate the CNC, which I should have done in the first place. So if we go to CNC, we're going to process the CNC rather than just view. And so with 1 minute left, let's go ahead and see if we can get our CNC process. Here's our optimization for the CNC router, and Now we're going to process 60 parts, which might take a little bit longer than the time that we have left. So I think I'm going to have to go ahead and interrupt this. So you should be looking at me now. That should be exciting. So if you have questions, please give us a call at our telephone number. If you have, you can email us at, and I hope that this has been advantageous to you and somewhat enlightening. And again, just give us a call if you have questions, and we hope you have a good day.